Bitcoin came with this incredible promise, right? A financial system that nobody controls, one that's open for absolutely everyone, true decentralization. But what if that very foundation, the thing that makes Bitcoin so special, is actually centralizing right under our noses?
Okay, let's really dig into this. It's kind of a tough question to ask, isn't it? We all just take Bitcoin's decentralization as a given. But the reality of how the network is actually secured, through mining, well, it might be telling a completely different story.
So, the heart of the problem really boils down to a growing concentration of power. And this isn't some far-off theoretical threat. No, this hits right at the core of what makes Bitcoin, what makes it Bitcoin.
Just take a look at this. What's so wild is how different this is from the image we all have in our heads. We think of millions of miners all competing, but in reality, the security of the entire network is basically in the hands of just a handful of massive mining pools. It's the classic story of power ending up with just a few key players.
So you have to ask, how did we get into this mess? It wasn't some kind of crazy hostile takeover. It was actually a pretty slow, logical process, all driven by basic economics. And that's what gave rise to these mining pools. Let me give you a metaphor. Being a solo miner today, it's like being an independent farmer. You're out there working your land all by yourself, just hoping for that one gigantic, life-changing harvest. The payout would be huge, but your chances of actually getting it are incredibly small. You could work for years and get nothing. Now, a mining pool, that's like working for a massive corporate farm. You show up, you do your part, and in return, you get a small but steady, predictable paycheck. It's way less risky for sure, but all the power, all the control, it ends up with the corporation, not with you, the individual worker. But what if there was a third way, something that gives you the predictability of that corporate farm, but with the freedom of the solo farmer? Well, this is where a really cool new project called P2Pool V2 comes into the picture. And don't just take it from me. As one of its developers, Jungly, puts it, this isn't just some interesting technical problem to solve. The entire future of Bitcoin really depends on keeping mining decentralized. I mean, the stakes couldn't be higher. So, if the big traditional pools are those corporate farms, you can think of P2Pool V2 as the community garden. It's a place where anybody, no matter how small their setup is, can come, contribute what they can to the collective effort, and get their fair share of the harvest paid out directly to them. No powerful boss taking a cut or telling everyone what to do. This whole community garden idea sounds fantastic, right? But how does it actually work under the hood? Well, the magic is really in a couple of very clever pieces of tech.
First, there's something called a share chain. Just think of it as a special, transparent little ledger just for the members of the pool. It's a system that lets even the tiniest miners prove the work they're doing and guarantees that everyone gets the credit they deserve. It makes the whole thing super efficient and scalable.
Okay, here's a really easy way to get it. The raffle ticket analogy. Imagine every little bit of work your computer does earns you a raffle ticket. The more work you do, the more tickets you get. Now, when the community garden, the pool, finds a Bitcoin block, that's like your number being called for the grand prize. And that prize money? It's automatically split up among everyone based on how many tickets they hold. It's simple, it's fair, and it's totally transparent.
Now, the other piece of the magic is something called atomic swaps. And this is a huge deal. It means your payouts come directly to you, from person to person. The pool operator never, ever holds your Bitcoin. This is what we call a non-custodial system, and it completely removes the need to trust anyone. Your earnings can't be stolen or frozen by the pool because the pool physically never has them.
So, we have this big problem of centralization, and we have this brilliant potential solution with P2Pool V2. But, a tool is only as good as the people who actually decide to pick it up and use it.
All right, so here's the bottom line. The threat of centralization in Bitcoin is very real, but it doesn't have to be our future. Cool new solutions like P2Pool V2, using tech like the share chain and atomic swaps, are putting the tools for decentralization right back where they belong, in the hands of the community. But for that to happen, it needs people, it needs developers, it needs testers to actually get involved and help build it out.
Which really leaves us with the big, final question. The tools to take back and strengthen Bitcoin's decentralization are here. They exist. The only question left is, are we going to use them? By the way, if you enjoyed this, be sure to follow, like, and share the podcast What Bitcoin Taught Me, and follow us on Twitter/X, Nostr, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Spotify, and now YouTube.